how do I deal with self-doubt and imposter syndrome as an entrepreneur? Oh man, that's that's one of the biggest one. I've struggled so much with that, especially as a model actor, especially as a model, and becoming an actor, and really wanted to share this knowledge, right, more and more. And I had this feeling of like, who am I to really share this information? But in the same time, so many people came to me, and because I would have this one-on-one, but like privately, and with many people here in Indonesia, in Jakarta, and they told me like, Jordan, you really need to share more your knowledge, because it would be very valuable for others, really, to share like your experience, the setbacks and the challenges and the mistakes that you make, and that would be valuable for a lot of people. And I was thinking about it, and it took me years after I really take action on this, because I still had this self-doubt and this imposter syndrome, where I felt like, who am I? And I remember the story with Napoleon Hill. He was having the same doubt, same imposter syndrome. And can you imagine it happened to Napoleon Hill as well, with his greatest book, Think and Grow Rich? So if you think that everyone figure it out, or like fast, and you think like you feel left behind if you have doubt, if you have this imposter syndrome as an entrepreneur, I mean, you're wrong. You're wrong, because every single one passed through these challenges. And the only difference is that how do you respond to these doubts, or to this imposter syndrome? Do you really use it as a strength? So it's really about how do you respond to this. Do you really want to use doubt or imposter syndrome as a strength and say, okay, I've been there, but now I really want to go to the next level, because I know that no matter what I do, people are gonna judge, or like, and you know what I realize is, do it. Once you do it, and you don't really keep those fear in the head, then you move it to your heart. Okay, so how do you really deal with that? Is by moving what you have in your mind, and you move it to your heart. It means that i was I was too much in the mind. So it really means that you move these thoughts of like good or bad, right or wrong, right? And you go to your heart. You go to your heart, and what your heart is telling you, like your intuition, and your intuition is screaming at you to really let your potential go out, like to really ignite yourself, your the person that you are, because you're like, you're putting so much attention in your mind, and you're like really sabotaging yourself, sabotaging your heart, right? Because you're saying like, oh, perhaps he's right, or perhaps he's wrong. Like, who cares? The only thing that you need to do is to take the next step, and the next step. And there is one of the best quote I really love, is one of my mantra. It's, go as far as you can see, and once you are there, you will see further. It's so powerful, because it really shows that you take the next step, and the next step, and the next step, and you do one, and then after one you do two, and after two you do three. You don't need to come from 0 to 10, or like the worst what I was doing is really to compare myself to all these people who have success online, and I was feeling myself, I don't have the same elocution, I don't have the same talent, I don't have this, and I don't have that. And I was focusing on the lack. How can you go to the next level if you focus on lack? You cannot. It's so simple, and it makes so much sense. You need to move from the version that you're telling to yourself, like this doubt and these imposter syndromes, like you really feel like an imposter. No, you need to feel that you're an authority in what you're sharing. You need to believe, like, even though there is so many in the world, I mean, you only see few people, but can you realize the amount of people on earth who needs to hear what you're saying, or like who needs your service, or who needs your product, right? They are just waiting for you to give it to them, to share to them, right? And because it's great, if you have great product, if you have great services, then you're gonna get money from that. I mean, it's as simple as this. It's just that you need to put yourself out there even more and pass through this doubt, fear, all these things, and really say to yourself, okay, now I'm gonna do it. And you really take the decision. You really make the decision, okay, I'm gonna do it, that's it, period. Because this is the only moment that things gonna change, because you switch from the old version of yourself to the new version of yourself, and that's the only way that you're gonna see change, because you cannot repeat and repeat and repeat the same thing and expect a different result. That's how I did, and it took me a while. It took me a few years to really put myself out there and share my thing and share the things that I was passionate about, like sharing my energy, and all these things started to activate, and more people were aware about all I was sharing. And I start to attract clients, and I start to attract amazing people who had the same energy than me. And so we connect, we resonate at the same frequency. We read the same book, we share the same thing, and it starts to, something start to activate around you. And you're just thinking, why didn't I do this before? This is crazy. I heard some people say it about that, but I didn't really fully understand it. But now I understand it in a different way. Can you imagine the time that you waste staying here instead of being here? And if you really think about it, that's all you need. That's all you need to go to the next level in your life, to really move from here to here. How do you feel about the things that you're doing? If you feel great, continue on this, and you're gonna see, if you're persistent, if you're consistent, amazing things gonna happen. Opportunities gonna come to you like rushing to you, because you attract that, because you become a magnet to success, you become a magnet to positive energy, because you feel great. So you go to a higher frequency, which is way more positive. This energy is attracted to you, because like attract like, right? So if you're at that frequency, this high frequency where you feel great, then you're gonna tend to match other frequency that are at that level, right? Of other people who feel great, of opportunities that will make you even feel greater. And that's how it works. It's so beautiful. Life is so beautiful. So please move from the thought that you have that saying you, oh, this is right or this is wrong, to your heart. What are your heart telling you? Work on your intuition. Develop that and listen to it. Believe in yourself. Believe in the thing that is telling you. And now, before we finish, there is a little exercise that I really want you to do. Now, together, we're gonna say thank you, okay, without talking, okay? So you're gonna say thank you to yourself without opening your mouth, all right? Three, two, one. Who's the person who just talked? Perhaps you're gonna say, it's me. Who is it? You? You haven't even talked, or I even opened my mouth. I didn't speak. Yet I could hear thank you, right? So if you really think about this, you're gonna really start to realize who you really are, like yourself. Like, and perhaps this thank you. I have people who played this exercise who really felt here. They felt the thank you from here and not from here. It really means what it means. It really means that your consciousness is all over the place, but really comes from your heart. Really come from who you are, the self. Trust it. Trust this little voice coming from here, not from here telling you like, oh, you shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't do that. Here, what is it telling you? Listen to it, and you will see how amazing life is.